Hey everybody, it's me, Crazyfrankie, and I'd like to welcome you to my NFL Playoffs Divisional Round picks. Before I talk about the divisional round and what my picks are going to be for these games, I definitely want to quickly talk about what happened on Wildcard Weekend. Now, obviously, one of the main headlines that happened during Wildcard Weekend was, of course, number one, the Dallas Cowboys actually, with Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott, actually won a playoff game. But let me be realistic about something here. Now, they really had to fight their way through and come from behind in order to beat the Seattle Seahawks and beat an experienced Russell Wilson team. Now, the Cowboys really didn't play all that well, to be honest with you. Seattle did a good job of holding them at bay, even though in the second half the Cowboys took over. And Cowboys lucked out that Sebastian Janikowski ended up hurting his leg, his hamstring, which prevented him from making any field goals. And that was really the only reason why they won. Because Seattle basically lost their kicker, which ended up being crucial in the second half of the game, and especially towards an onside kick, which was the biggest all-time onside kick fail that I've ever seen in any football game that I've ever watched. But yes, the Cowboys finally got over some sort of hill, some sort of hump, in order to advance in the playoffs. But now they got the daunting task of beating a very high-powered offensive Rams team, which I will get into in a few minutes. The other things I want to talk about here, really the Texans, another playoff loss, especially towards the number 6 seeded Indianapolis Colts. Wow. Look, I understand it was Deshaun Watson's first playoff game, but it really was not just the story. I mean, their offense just didn't perform all that well, and Watson really didn't play all that well. Give credit to Andrew Luck and that Indianapolis Colts offense that they were able to do a great job, and a great job on their defense. Really, their defense looks pretty scary. But now they got a daunting task of trying to stop Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, which is another pick, which of course I will talk about that in a few minutes. Quickly on the Chargers. They were able to get the win, and really the Chargers dominated the whole game, but in the fourth quarter, they almost choked. Yes, I've heard the jokes many times, chokers, blah 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 blah. Yes, and I was on the verge watching that game, about to pound my desk. After watching them almost blow a huge lead, they were up 23-3 going into the second half, and then Baltimore almost came back and won. They were fortunate enough. I really think that Joe Flacco could have made a difference on that team if they would have played Flacco in the second half. Look, Lamar Jackson is still the future quarterback for this Ravens team, but obviously his playoff experience now, he finally got through the first nerves of his first NFL playoff start. But the question is, can this Ravens team bounce back next season and hopefully make a deep run? I don't know. We'll wait and see going into next season. And of course, obviously the game that everybody was talking about, it was the Eagles and the Bears, and it came down to a Cody Parkey field goal, which really he took a lot of heat from Bears fans, and it was totally unfair. If you look at that replay so many times, it was partially tipped, which contributed to him hitting the goal post and the crossbar. But I do understand for Bear's case, though. Yeah, he had a game where he hit the post 4 times. And yes, I understand that too. But when it comes down to it, though, I mean, there were key things that the Bears missed out on. And really, they did not Mitch Trubisky and that offense really did not do a good job on that final drive. But really, it has to boil down to the defense. The defense didn't stop Nick Foles when they had to, and that was the reason why the Eagles ended up winning that game. So the Eagles, you have to give them more of the credit than the Bears really losing that game, because that's totally unfair that Cody Parkey had to endure all this hate. And I think it's totally unfair. But there is the case, yes, he did miss the field goal. He did miss 4 field goals, all of them hitting the goalpost. But no, I give the credit to the Eagles. They did a great job on that Bear defense, which was really the best defense in the entire league all season. and Nick Foles. And as I said it before, I think the Bears peaked too early. But no question that next season they are going to be a huge threat. They may go on a Super Bowl run in the next few years if they can get some more pieces for that offense. Anyways, let's talk about the divisional round now. As I always do, of course, I begin with the AFC first, and then I do the NFC after that. So, AFC divisional round game. It is the AFC divisional game. It is the Indianapolis Colts versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, Andrew Luck in that win over the Texans, 19 of 32, 222 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Now, the last time Mahomes played, obviously because the Chiefs had a bye week, he did play in Week 17, going 14 of 24, 281 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception to clinch the overall number 1 seed as well as the AFC West division. Boils down to the point. Now, if you go through history with the history of the Chiefs, they have not won a home playoff game in a long time. And the last time they did was 93. That was when Joe Montana was quarterback back in that day. But this Chiefs offense, for some reason, I'm getting a sense. Now, I know you're going to throw at me this thing. Andy Reid has been choking a lot more in the postseason, especially with this Chiefs team. Now, I know the Chiefs are snake bit just as bad as the Chargers. But there's just something different about Mahomes in this offense, though. Now, Colts may have a much better defense. But I don't know if this they did a great job of holding Watson at bay when he was out of the pocket. Mahomes is a completely different player. He's a lot more mobile than Watson is. And don't be surprised in this game that if Mahomes takes over this game. I expect this game to be close. And speaking of odds numbers, the Chiefs are 5.5-point favorite in this one. That number probably should be 5, maybe 4.5 by the time this game starts on Saturday. Now, the Colts defense really has to put Mahomes at bay. They got to make him eat the grass if they have any hopes of winning this game. But I just think that the Chiefs offense, they will get back more on track, and I actually see them winning this game. It will be close. I see them winning by a field goal. And that is why I'm going to go with the Chiefs here. I think that the Chiefs will finally get over one hurdle to get to the AFC Championship. I just think that with Mahomes at the well as quarterback, I just think there's something different about this team. Not as your typical other Kansas City Chiefs team that have failed in the postseason. Mahomes is for real. But how real can he get all the way down the stretch? I see the Chiefs winning this game. It'll be close, but I think the Chiefs win by a field goal here. I'm picking the Chiefs in this one. Chiefs over the Indianapolis Colts. Okay, the other AFC divisional game. It is the Chargers versus the Patriots. Patriots are 4-point favorite, and that's absolutely the correct number. Now, I know a lot of you are going to throw at me, you're a freaking Charger. You're going to tell me, yeah, you're a freaking Chargers fan. You're not giving any sort of positivity to it. Look, the Chargers should have won 23-3, let alone 23-10. They totally dominated that Ravens team. But for some reason, the Chargers have a defense. They do. But the thing about it is that the more they're out on the field, because the defense was out on the field a lot in the second half. And really, the offense had trouble scoring in the second half, even though it took them a while to score a touchdown. There were some turnovers here, and that kind of was a key. It was a key factor. There was a couple of fumbles in that game. Now, let me go over the Rivers statistics. 22 of 32, 160 yards, no touchdowns or no interceptions. That's one good thing that he did last week. But obviously there was turnovers for the Chargers, mostly fumbles. Now, Brady did play in Week 17. He went 24 of 33, 250 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions to clinch a first-round bye. A lot of people say that this may be the game of the weekend right here. Let me make a case here for something here. If the Chargers want any hope of winning this game against the Patriots, I would love nothing more than to see the upset. If they have any slim sort of hope of them beating the Patriots here, they got to get to Tom Brady. They got to make him eat the turf at Foxborough. That is the only way they're going to win. And they got to be able to establish the run very well, because the Patriots are not that good at stopping the run. I just think that's more of the key. Otherwise, if they force Rivers into bad throws, that could spell trouble for the Chargers in this game. Now, there's a couple of cases here I'm making here. Look, Brady knows how to pick defenses apart. And that is the reason why I have to go with the Patriots here. I think the Patriots are going to beat the Chargers. A lot of people say the Chargers are Super Bowl bound. But when you have to go through Tom Brady and the Patriots, you're not getting there. This Patriots team, basically, they're cockroaches. And I don't like to use funny word terms or anything and insult other teams and all that. But if you're going to stop the Patriots from getting a Super Bowl, you better find a way to beat them. But it just seems like no matter who comes out of, no matter what happens in the American Football Conference, it's always the Patriots. No, there hasn't been really an AFC team that's stopped them all that well, other than probably Baltimore. But it just seems like no matter what happens here, it's just the Patriots are getting there. Patriots got way too much experience. You're asking a lot of Phillip Rivers here, and I don't know if he's going to be able to get over that hump. I just think the Patriots, with too much experience, Brady knows how to get rid of the ball quickly. It's just going to be the Patriots in this game. They'll probably win by a touchdown here. I really want to give the Chargers some slim hope, and I really want to see the upset here. I just don't see it happening. Patriots over the Chargers. All right, let's get into the NFC matchups. Probably the better matchups this weekend. NFC divisional game. The Dallas Cowboys and the LA Rams. The Rams are touchdown favorite in this one at 7 points. That number probably should be a little bit lower. Dallas has the defense, as I mentioned earlier in the video. Yes, Prescott went 22 of 33, 226 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Now, Goff played a little bit in week number 17. He went 15 of 26, 199 yards, 4 touchdowns, and no interceptions. Key things here for the Rams if they want to beat the Cowboys here. A lot of it now has to be on Todd Gurley. The run has to be established very well because the Cowboys are going to do the same thing with Ezekiel Elliott. Now, he had a good amount of rushing yardage and did a fine job of really pinning down Seattle's defense with the run. And that is the formula for the Rams. The Gurley has to get involved in this. Now, I understand he's coming back he had a lot of rest because of injury, and it will be a factor in this game. Weather-wise, look, it's LA. I know a lot of you are saying that, it's clear now. There's a chance there might be some scattered showers this weekend. We're kind of expecting some sort of they're kind of expecting some sort of rain in LA. Whatever rain we get out here. It could play a small factor here. But the key for the Rams in this game, they got to establish the run because that's what the Cowboys' plan is. They will establish their run with Ezekiel Elliott and Prescott being able to get out of the pocket. That's the formula for the Cowboys. Now, the Rams' defense really has to get more involved in this game. I expect this game to be probably a nail-biter all the way through 4 quarters. It probably may be low scoring in this game, but let's just see if the Cowboys can really start to make a run and prove all the critics wrong. The Rams have a lot more pressure than the Cowboys do. But I think if I look at this game, if the Rams can their defense put a stop Prescott and their offense here, I actually like the Rams in this game. I think the Rams, I'm going to actually go with the Rams here. I think their defense is going to step up in this game. And I think they will put an end to the Cowboys' possible Super Bowl run here. I think the Rams will win this game here. It'll probably be by a field goal. I expected this game to be close. This game will be close. I'm picking the Rams in here. I think the Rams will barely beat the Cowboys here in a very, very good nail-biting game. Rams over the Cowboys. And, of course, the other NFC divisional game, the Philadelphia Eagles versus the New Orleans Saints. The Saints are a huge favorite in this game at 8 points. But the way the Saints played down the stretch, they did struggle. They're probably their best game of the season came at the hands of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now Breeze played in that Week 16 game against Pittsburgh, 27 of 39, 326 yards, 1 touchdown, and no interceptions. The Saints offense should be well rested, and I think will be ready for this game. They have a huge home field advantage. They're too good at home. Now, Foles went 25 of 40, 266 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. That is a problem right there. Now, I know Nick Foles has got the experience already. He's already won a Super Bowl from last season. But I just think the New Orleans Saints, with that high-powered offense, I think to me it's going to be too much for Philadelphia to handle. Now, their defense played very well against Chicago. Yes, I'll give them credit for that. But you're facing a much more high-powered offense in the Saints. The Saints are well-rested. I don't think they'll be rusty at all in this game. I think, and that is why I got to pick the New Orleans Saints here. Their offense is definitely going to be the huge factor in this game. They have too good of an offense. They're well rested, and I expect this to be the Saints all the way in this game. I don't know if this game has a makings of a blowout, but I think it'll be close. But I think the Saints pull away in the fourth quarter here, and that is why I'm picking the New Orleans Saints in this game. I think, to me, in the NFC, we're going to get that 1 versus 2 matchup. So I'm picking the Saints over the Eagles. All right, everybody, that wraps up my divisional round picks. And, of course, next week is my picks for the AFC and NFC Championship games. And until then, guys, let's enjoy. Hopefully, this will be another great weekend of playoff NFL football. And I'll talk to you guys next week when I talk about my picks for the conference championship games. And until then, take care and enjoy your football weekend.